Things are getting rough on the waiver wire as people are scavenging for running back, something new, something they can add to their team to give them some life, some hope, some promise, a lottery ticket, a scratch off that maybe that can hit down the road if things break. Whatever they can find, these last few weeks on the waiver wire has been rough, and it might be like that ongoing too. So people are grasping at straws, and they are grasping at Ronnie Rivers right now, running back of the Rams. He has been a popular get off the waiver wire over the last few days. Kyren Williams missing some practice due to an injury, being limited as well on Thursday. So we're looking at Ronnie Rivers as possibly being an option over the next few days or weeks or whatever people are trying to do. So we're going to be looking at the news, the facts, the data, see whether or not you need Ronnie Rivers off the waiver wire for your fantasy team. But what you really need to do is click that subscribe button right now. Click it with the finger on your phone. Tap it with the mouse. Stop missing out on these deep dives. Stop missing out on the multiple waiver wire videos we do throughout the week to help you get those stashes, help you win those trades, and we also help you set those lineups. So hit that subscribe button. Stop missing out. But let's look at the news here. Kyren Williams dealing with a hip injury, limited on Thursday in practice, and it's been a rough, bumpy road these last few days, and people has been running to the waiver wire to get Ronnie Rivers. They've been looking at him, they've been searching him, and they've been asking questions. The thing about Ronnie Rivers, we don't have much on him. He has not been getting much workload. There's not much of a sample between what he has done, but he did get some opportunities last week. Got some snaps, about 28% snap share last week, 9 carries, 47 yards. So he was able to do something. He was able to churn out some production. So that is a good thing to look at here. So in a pinch, if something does happen to Kyren Williams, Ronnie Rivers is able to handle some workload to some degree and able to get you some efficiency. And looking at what he's done throughout his NFL career last year and this year, we haven't been able to see much. He hasn't been able to see much opportunity. He has been used here and there, as you can see from the chart from the fantasy production, but still not a large workload for us to really evaluate. But he has been in on games. He has been active. He's had seen snaps. He does have some experience. So that is something that we can work off of. And then going back to his collegiate profile, he spent 5 years at Fresno State, has been productive, and has been used in the passing game. 40 touchdowns over the course of his 5-year career, but he's got 2 years with double-digit touchdowns as well. So that's something to bank on, 150 catches on his career as well. That indicates that he can be used in the passing game. He does have seasons with over 3 yards after contact per attempt, 3.06 on his career. That's something you can hang your hat on. And in his final season there, he had 42 missed tackles, 45 2 years prior to that in 2019. And then in the passing game, this is probably the best thing to look at in his profile, is yards after the catch per reception, 10.9, 10.4, 13.4. So he's getting you yards after the catch, which is good because he can eat up yards if he sees it in space. Also, decent yards per route run. And then the ADA is what you would expect for a running back. So all in all, decent production profile when you're looking at Ronnie Rivers here. And then looking at the draft, he fell out of the draft in 2022. UDFA, 5'8", 195 pounds. He's 24 years old. Looking at the athleticism specs here, 4.6 40-yard dash. Speed score's pretty low because it's 4.6. He's under 200 pounds. Burst score 68th percentile. Reminds you a good bit of Kyren Williams when you look at the specs here. He's a little bit bigger. He's a little bit faster. But he is from a G5 school versus a Power 5 school for Kyren Williams at Notre Dame. That's something you need to play into that. Different prospects, but they do have some similarities when you look at the metrics. However, when you look at the Rams offense here, 72 plays per game, 44 pass plays per game versus 27 run plays. Kyren Williams saw 100% snaps in week 3. They can't do that every game. And they told us that in week 4 by giving him a decent snap share, giving Rivers some opportunity. Kyren Williams can't have that workload, or it's not going to last too much longer for him, because he is going to break down. That's what running backs do when they get a high workload like that. That's not good for him over the long term, and Ronnie Rivers could see an opportunity if they keep pushing him out there at a high pace. He is very dependable. He's good in pass protection. He's good at getting out there in routes. But Ronnie Rivers needs to be the meat shield to help Kyren Williams in his longevity in the season. Cooper Kupp's also back. He's going to be seeing a lot of those short targets out of the slot. He's going to be taking some of the passing work off these running backs, because those targets got to go somewhere. He's got to eat somebody's targets. Cooper Kupp's going to get some. But Ronnie Rivers, the thing about him is we're looking for snaps. We're looking for more opportunity. We're looking to see how he can gel in this offense. Kyren Williams is the key here. Kyren Williams, if he does get hurt, Ronnie Rivers is going to be the next guy up by default, and he's going to be getting opportunity in the passing game, and that's a good thing, because Matt Stafford does not care. He does not care who you are. If you're open, he's going to sling it to you, and if he likes it, then he's going to care, and he's going to pepper you. We saw that with Puka Nacua. We saw that with Tutu Atwell. If he likes what he sees, he gets comfortable, he's going to pepper you. We've seen that with Kyren Williams. So if he can build a rapport, or if something happens to Kyren Williams, he starts getting hot, then we might have something here with Ronnie Rivers. Right now, it's just a wait-and-see type of deal. We do have a schedule that's pretty decent in front of the Rams right now. But again, Ronnie Rivers is not a guy that you're running to get off waivers, but he is an insurance policy if something happens to Kyren Williams, because this offense features the running back in the passing game, and they want to feature the running back in the passing game, and that's something they're going to do. And Rivers has a similar profile to Kyren Williams. Kyren Williams is a little bit different, though, but profile-wise, when you look at the metrics, you can kind of see how it's built out like. So you can see how those opportunities could come his way to where he can be productive. And remember, he's a lottery ticket. He's a guy on the back end of the roster. He's the RB2, the 1B, or whatever you want to see, who could get an opportunity to be thrusted into an offense that features the running back position in the passing game, which could elevate his potential scoring output in fantasy football. But when we look at the numbers here, we look at the data here, there's no sure thing here. We're really hoping that the dominoes fall, and then also the game scripts goes his way, and then he gets productive. So there's a lot of things that need to happen here for him to be productive. It's in the realm of possibilities, but also the possibilities are also all over the place with him, considering we need things to happen. That being said, you need him because you want to bet on the Rams. You see what's happening with Kyren Williams. You know he can't have 100% snap share every game. You see him banged up. You want to invest. You're hurting at running back. The waiver wire's been awful, and you need something to shoot on at running back right now, because it's the same old hosses right now at the running back position, and they're not showing much to you, and you want to go after somebody else, and you're struggling, and the running back position on the waiver wire has been hurting these last few weeks, and it might hurt even longer, because right now the waiver wire has been pretty dry. You don't need them because you can't handle a lottery ticket, or you got another lottery ticket. You can't keep getting lottery tickets. This isn't the lottery ticket for you. You don't want the RB2 on the Rams. You don't need this investment. You're not looking to get a guy like Ronnie Rivers. This is not for you, and that is understandable. But he's for somebody, because there are some teams out there that are hurting. The waiver wire has been dry the last 2 weeks. It's hard to find some players, and if he gets thrusted into a workload, that little bit of workload might be something to somebody, because there are some teams hurting, because this waiver wire has been dry the last couple weeks. Getting players to pluck that can help you out has not been as easy as years past, and as weeks past earlier in the season as well. So this could be a player, if you're a winless team or a one-win team or a hurting team with injuries or whatever, this could be a player that could get you out of bind if he can step into a role, if a role comes his way or whatever. But again, honestly, he's not our usual lottery ticket that we shoot for. The upside's not immense, but the workload could be there, and he could be a patch-up piece for you in fantasy. And if he can get work in the passing game, maybe he can give you a little bit of something. Again, it's a cheap risk. It's a cheap lottery ticket. Most people don't need him, but some people do, and it is what it is, and you got to do what you got to do off the waiver wire because things have been bleak. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.